I realized our most popular product, not everybody even knows what it is or why it's so great. Stay tuned. We're going to deep dive.
I'm Cristy Code Red, and you're listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, where we believe food holds the power to heal or poison, and we believe our society has been misled regarding proper nutrition and weight loss. You're in the right place if you're looking for some straight up truth, because I'm here to shed light on the lies and brainwashing that has taken place over the past 5 decades. Thanks so much for listening.
Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I'm your host, Cristy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer. And in today's episode, we're going to go through our most popular and most successful product. I mean, I now that I say that, I go, the 10-pound takedown is pretty popular. I mean, tens of thousands of people over the last 9 years have gone through that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's been a while, hasn't it? And yet I still think, and maybe I'll do another episode where I talk about the 10-pound takedown, but on this episode, we're talking about the customized nutrition program. What is it and why is it so vital to anyone's success? People cannot be, well, I was going to say you can't be successful without it, but I've seen it happen. I've seen people be successful without with just reading the Code Red Revolution book. But it's rare. They need to have a customized nutrition program. So let's deep dive into what the heck it is. Now, I've always had the customized program. In fact, that's what Code Red years ago. Gosh, I've been doing this 13 years. And 13 years ago, when I first came up with the customized program, this was what it was. It just looked a little different. I used to handwrite it, out on college ruled paper with a pen. I mean, I didn't even have a printer. I would put it in a manila envelope and I sold them for $149. And it was basically the same thing. Obviously, we've evolved and we don't do things, we've evolved, we've reinvented ourselves several times. We used to print up these books and we bound them with a spiral binder right there in-house. And then we'd ship them off in a priority mailbox. And we don't do that anymore either. Everything is digital. So not everything. We do have products. We have swag, we have clothing, we have different products. We have lots of books. We have all of our supplement lines. So not everything is digital, but definitely the custom program is digital. So let's go through, and you might hear me say custom program or home study program. I've always called it a custom program, but then a few years ago, I rebranded and I switched to calling it a home study program just because I needed to call it something different, because that's what happens in a rebrand. You need to call things different names because that's what a rebrand is. So the first thing you need to realize, that's probably the biggest thing about our custom programs: calories. Yes, calories. I give you your customized amount of calories that you should be eating. Why is this so huge? Because if you just Google how many calories a day should I eat, oh my gosh, Katie bar the door. It's going to give you everything from, you could do the HCG diet where they give you 500 calories a day, or CR 500 calories a day. Or you could go all the way up, like you need to eat 4,000 calories a day, or Michael Phelps eating 10,000 calories a day. Oh my gosh. I mean, if you ask the government guidelines, say that you need to eat 1,800 to 2,500 calories a day. I don't know a lot of women who eat that much. Even my big ladies, 300 and 400 pound morbidly obese ladies, they're not eating as much as you think they are. So it's a wide range. It's just a mixed bag of stuff that information that you get if you are wondering how many calories. Everybody's got their own opinion. And you're like, well, Cristy, you got your own opinion. This is what this is right here. Yeah. The only difference is I've been around for many, many, many years. I've stood the test of time in a very saturated industry. I've continued to grow, continued to thrive. When most of the others have crumbled and fallen, I have stayed true. And I have continued to plow through these harsh economic times, through COVID, through everything. I'm still here with tens of thousands of rebels as testimonies. Do you know that we've posted a before and after picture every single year? I mean, every single day for 8 years, and we've never missed one day? Do that math. Do 365 times eight. That's thousands of pictures, thousands of people who have come through the program and that have transformed. So I've got a proven record of success. I've got a proven track record of success. So you're going to get your customized amount of calories from me. Cristy, how do you come up with that formula? That's where I draw the line. I ain't going to tell you my formula. Girls got to eat. I got to keep the lights on. I got salaries to pay. I have come up with a proprietary formula that works. One that is tried and true, one that nobody knows, just me. I write all the programs myself. And you know, it's one of my favorite things to do at Code Red. I have outsourced all the things at Code Red that I do not like to do, but I refuse to outsource the writing of the custom programs because I love doing it. I see, 10 or 12 come in overnight while I'm sleeping, wake up in the morning, have 10, 12, 15 programs to write. I'm actually get excited. I don't dread that. I get excited. I love writing custom programs. I do. It's just something about it that is so satisfying to me. I like having my finger on the pulse of everybody. I like being the one that picks these guidelines and borders and parameters for you. I want to be the one who does that. Is that scalable? Probably not, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'm going to keep doing it until I can't do it anymore, I guess. But I love doing it. It actually brings me a lot of joy. So the biggest thing I'm going to give you is a calorie range. Now, when you get your custom program, there's going to be a range. The range, the top end of the range is going to be the amount of calories you need to start eating right now for the weight that you are now. And the bottom end of the range is the amount of calories you're going to be eating at goal weight. So I'm giving you a range of calories throughout your entire weight loss journey from starting until end. Well, Cristy, how do I know when to lower my calories? If you choose to do it on your own, you certainly can, but you've got to know when to lower your calories. And if you are with us in our coaching groups, if you get coaching with that, the coaches will help you decide that. The nice thing about coaching, we coach 7 days a week. It's amazing. The coaches are always there and always available to help you work through any situation that you have. And so the calories are huge. Bottom line, whether you like it or not, calories matter. It's not just CICO, calories in, calories out, but CICO is the most effective way to lose weight. And I have tried them all, believe me. I've tried to eat. People say just be an intuitive eater. Well, that would be great if everybody was. Believe me, if everybody was an intuitive eater and they actually ate intuitively, they actually followed that program and followed that parameter, followed that way of doing things, we would not have an obesity epidemic. We would not have 88% of this country fat. We would not have 40% of this country obese. Believe me, if that was the case, if intuitive eating, like kids are intuitive eaters. We are the ones that shove it down their throats when and how much they should eat. We do that. But if you leave a kid alone, he or she will eat when they're hungry and they'll stop when they're full. We put our society, we brainwash them. Kids are true intuitive eaters. We are not. We're ruined. We're done. I have not seen intuitive eating work very well for people. Even my own mom, and I know she's listening to this. I'd say this to her. It's not a big deal. Even my own mom is an intuitive eater, and she was just like her mom, my grandma. And they would be like, what do I feel like? Let's see. And they would eat like one thing. My grandma would say, I feel like an avocado. Well, like, whatever, grandma, that's fine. The problem with my mom being an intuitive eater is because she doesn't track what she's eating, she doesn't realize she's not eating enough protein. And in her age group, she needs to eat more protein. She already knows that I've said this to her before, and I get on her case. I've tried everything. She won't change. She won't do it. It's not going to change. I need to let it go. She doesn't make bad choices. She just doesn't eat enough of the foods that she needs for her age group. And she doesn't eat enough fat. And it's just, it's frustrating for me. But again, she doesn't make bad choices. She just doesn't eat enough of what I think she needs in her age group. So that's just a little frustrating, but not everybody's going to be as militant about their food as some of us are, or some of us should be. That's the thing, not to sidebar here for a second, but that's the thing. Why can't we be obsessed with our food? Why can't we be militant with our food? What's wrong with tracking your food each day? What's wrong with being mindful of what you eat? What's wrong with being thoughtful and planning out your food for the day? Even at goal weight, we still plan it out. Even now, for the rest of my life, I'm going to always have to mind my food. It is the second most intimate thing we do in our lives is eating. So why isn't it more of a priority to us? Instead, we graze our way through Costco. We graze our way through our kids' fries. We stick crap in our mouths. We have a Hershey's Kiss off our coworker's desk when we're walking by. The doctor's office has a dish of candy. We grab candy out of there. We just mindlessly eat. We mindlessly shove crap in our mouths, most of which is ultra processed and sugar laden. So, calories matter. You need to have the right amount of calories. The right amount, that's where I come in. I pick the right amount for you. Now, the next thing a custom program is going to tell you is your fat range. Now, you will learn on the 10-pound takedown that fat is not bad. Fat is good. Dietary fat is good. We're talking about avocado, coconut oil, butter, ghee, things like that. Fat, olive oil, like coderedoliveoil.com if you want the good stuff. We're talking about that kind of fat, not cutting the gristle off the steak, eating the egg yolk, a good source of fat. This is something that is vital. And I've done many other podcasts and many other teachings about fat. I'm not going to get into that right now, but you need to keep your fat range between 60 and 65%. Do not go over 65 and do not go under 60. Bottom line, stay in that range. Well, Cristy, how do I know? We track it on an app. Don't worry. We don't have to do that math. One lady wrote me and said, I am not good at math. How am I supposed to figure this out? I was like, oh my Lord. No, we don't do the math. We let the app do the math. So you're going to want to keep your fat. And the reason I can get away with the calories that I put people on is because it's a high fat diet, because you're getting more bang for the buck. Because for every gram of fat, you get 9 calories. For every gram of protein and carb, you get 4. So you're getting more bang for the same amount of fat. I don't want to get into that too deep. But the custom program, the home study program, is going to give you that range and explain to you what that means. The next thing you're going to get is you're going to get a range of carbohydrates. The thing that we do on Code Red that other people don't necessarily do is we subtract out the fiber. You want to subtract the fiber from the carbs before you start to panic. For example, an avocado has 18 grams of fiber, but it has an avocado has 18 grams of carbs, but it has 15 grams of fiber. 18 minus 15 is 3. You only absorb the 3 grams of carbs. You poop out the rest. That's what fiber does. And so fiber helps make you full. It's a great tool, especially for people who are coming, the people who are coming from the standard American diet of 60% ultra processed carbs, coming onto the Code Red lifestyle. Fiber is going to be great to help fill you up and give you that full feeling that you're looking for. So we do want to subtract out the fiber, and then what's left over, that's going to be your net grams of carbs. And those are customized for you in the custom program. I'm going to give you a customized range of carbs. Now, the carb range I give you, again, just like the calorie range, the range is going to be how many is the max amount you need for the starting weight and how many you'll end up eating by the time you get down to your goal weight. Now, the lower the carbs, the more weight you're going to lose, basically. But keeping your fat between 60 and 65%, that's how you don't kill everybody in the whole process. That high fat, It's going to give you energy. It's going to help you sleep. It's going to regulate hormones. It's going to help your hair and nails grow. It's going to help you feel full. That high fat is that's the money shot. That's the gold. That's the good stuff. But you got to keep those carbs down low. Got to keep them down low. I'm going to give you a customized amount of sugar. And this is total sugar for the day. And that is all the sugar. There's always sugar in something. Like, for example, if you have half and half, if you want to use half and half in your coffee, there's 1 gram of sugar in there. It needs to be in the log. And I'm going to give you a sugar range, not a sugar range, but a sugar amount I want you to stay under. There's sugar in tomatoes. There's sugar in carrots. We know that that's not making people sick and fat, but it all adds up. And I want you to track your sugar. So you're going to stay at or under that amount that I give you in the custom program. The next amount I'm going to give you is the protein. I have a balance of fat, carbs, and protein, and you're going to get the amount of protein I want you to stay at or under. We are not a high protein program. We're a high fat program. So don't worry about that. Don't stress over it too much. When you get your numbers where I put them, you'll see you just want to make sure your numbers jive. The next thing you're going to get in your custom program is you're going to get a customized goal weight. This is not the weight that you think you should be. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. 9 times out of 10, you will choose a weight that's way too high for yourself for a goal weight, because that is what the weight that you think you can achieve is. You think you can get, if you're 5'6", you think you can get down, and you're 232, 190 is my goal weight. Because that's as far as your mind can see. Golly, if I could just get under 200, I'd be great. Okay, 190. Well, that would be certainly an improvement, but you're still halfway to where you need to be. You're still way, way off, way off. You've only lost half the weight that you need to lose. So even more. I mean, you still need to lose a lot more. So I have a goal weight. I have a goal weight range that I have in my mind that I've never told anybody that everybody needs to be at. And that's why it's so accurate. And it's based partly off your height. And a lot of you guys, you don't realize, but we shrink as we age. I was 5'9" when I graduated high school 30 years ago. I am 5'6". Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I was 5'9" and 150 when I graduated high school. We shrink as we age. And the shrinking usually starts like around 40 years old, and then it accelerates in the 50s and 60s and 70s. You shrink at a faster rate. You always want to have an accurate height. Get one at your doctor's office, or have your husband measure you at home with a tape measure. Do not let your 9-year-old do it. Those guys will mess it up. Or lean against the wall, take a ruler, stand up straight, heels up against the wall, put a ruler flat against your head, and then step out away from it, and then look at where it is. There are ways to do it, but just make sure it's accurate. Do not guess. This is why on the paperwork, I ask you, what's your height and when was the last time you had it checked? A lot of you guys say 4 years ago, unsure, 10 years ago, 2 years ago. It's got to be within the last 6 months. I do not trust you. I do not trust you. A lot of you guys, I've seen pictures of you online, and your height does not match what you reported to me, because you think you're taller than you. Everybody always thinks they're taller than what they are. They always think they're tall. My mom, she was like, I'm 5'5". I need to be 135. That's what she always said. Well, she's 5'3". She just told me, we just went bowling the other night. She was like, I'm 5'3" because I had her measure herself. Well, guess what? She doesn't get to be 135 anymore. And neither do I, by the way. I have to bring my weight down too. You'll always want to bring your weight down as you age. You don't want to be the same weight that at that taller height. That doesn't make any sense, does it? We don't want to be short and fat. You need to be slender and healthy going into old age. All right. You need to, and it's a different podcast for a different day, but what we need to talk about what you need going into old age. Probably I should do a podcast on that. So an accurate height is absolutely necessary, measured by an adult, either by a nurse at the doctor's office, or do it yourself, or have an adult help you. Do it slowly, take your time, make sure it's accurate. That can really skew your numbers if you don't have a correct height, okay? And I'm going to give you that. I sometimes I give people a range. Like sometimes if I'm like, like sometimes if they have a like 5'8.5", or sometimes they might have sometimes I get these gut feelings about people. I don't know, you guys. Everybody's kind of different when I write their custom programs. Everybody, I stop, I think, I meditate on each one, and I just think about it. Sometimes I look you up on social media and I take a look at all your stuff. And sometimes I've called people before, many times. Beep boop boop beep boop. Hey Cindy, it's Cristy Code Red. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Hey, listen, I just need some clarification on your paperwork. I've called people many times. I did call a lady named Cindy, and she lives in California, Orange County, and we talked for a long time. She was so nice, and like we could totally be friends. And it's really important that you have that accurate those accurate numbers. I'm going to give you your customized water amount, and this one always shocks people. You think the weight shocks people? Oh, Katie, bar the door. The water shocks people because you can drink a lot more water than you need, and there are lots of reasons for the water, and I've done many podcasts about water and hydration. But the water amount I have for you is the right amount for you, your size, your age, and different factors that I take into consideration. It is the right amount for you. The bigger you are, the more I'm going to have you drink. I see these bodybuilders and they're drinking a gallon. I'm like, have you lost your ever loving mind? You're 264. You're 232. I can't believe you're drinking 128 ounces of water. It's not enough for them. Even I drink 160 to 200 ounces a day, but that's too much for me, 200 ounces. But I sit in a 230-degree sauna at night for 30 minutes. I work out every day, sometimes twice. I've been doing the same water amount for 13 years. My kidneys are used to it. I don't have any problems with my body. I'm very healthy. So I'm used to that water amount. I never get less than 160, and usually it's closer to 200. Especially during my bodybuilding transformation, I was drinking a lot of water, but I was also working out up to 5 hours a day. And it was just what I did. And believe me when I say I had a ton of electrolytes, high quality electrolytes, like the ones that we endorse, like Redmond Real Salt. I had a lot of sodium, a lot of potassium, a lot of magnesium. I made sure that I was up on my electrolytes, or, you'll end up in the ER. The thing is, you'll end up in the ER if you don't replace your electrolytes. If we drink a lot of water on Code Red and we don't eat foods that hang on to water, because for every gram of carbs, your body hangs on to 3.4, 3.7 grams of water. So when you're dumping off the carbs, you're dumping off the water, you're flushing out a lot of electrolytes. You've got to replace those. You've got to put electrolytes in your water, either Caged Hydrocharge, Redmond Relight, or Ultima. You need to make sure that you are replacing those electrolytes. Redmond Real Salt on your food, a teaspoon of Redmond Real Salt in your gallon of water. You either get the Redmond Relight salt caps. There are many ways, Cristy approved ways to replace your electrolytes. You want to feel pretty crappy, get too low on salt. Feeling of a headache, a feeling of malaise, dizziness, cramping, fatigue. 9 times out of 10, that's a low electrolyte problem that can be fixed in 20 minutes if you get in some salt right now. So before you freak out and go get some aspirin or Tylenol, make sure you have salt. Anytime I've ever felt crappy, it was either I was getting ready to start my period or I was too low on salt. I took in some salt, 20 minutes later, feel fantastic. And the salt pills from Redmond, the Redmond hydration caps, they're so cheap, you guys. They're like $14.99 for a whole bunch of caps. And then you get the Code Red 15 discount code on top of that. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So I would definitely suggest you keep those on hand. My mom and Brian go through a ton of Redmond Relight caps. He's a car salesman and he walks and walks and walks. And even in the summertime, he's out there in the heat walking. He doesn't drink nearly enough water. I hope that man does not have kidney problems in the future because he doesn't drink enough water. It's so frustrating to me. But he does do better with the salt caps. And my mom has always been prone to leg cramps. She gets cramps really easily. So she's very sensitive to electrolytes. She knows it's about herself. She does the apple cider vinegar, and she does the salt cap. So, guys, the amount of water that I put in your home study program is not a typo. That's the amount of water that I need you drinking starting today, starting right when you get your program. And the way that we talk about this on the 10-pound takedown, the way that you get your water in is you start early. Remember, we get up, we walk to the bathroom, we go potty, we strip down naked as we're coming out of the bathroom, we get right on that scale. And we turn and grab our bottle of water. You want that entire Code Red water bottle, that 40-ouncer, to be done before you have your first cup of coffee. Get that bottle done, that first one done, because studies have shown that a bottle of water is going to wake you up faster than a cup of coffee. Plus, you wake up dehydrated anyway. You haven't had anything to drink for 8 hours. So you want to get that bottle of water, and then you want to drink your water steady through the day. You think, okay, 40 ounces. If I do 4 of my Code Red water bottles, that's 4 times 4. 4 times 40 is 160. That's my minimum. If I do one every, if you think if I do one every other hour, my gosh, I got my first one at 6, my next one at 8, my next one at 10, my next one at 12. I'm done with my water by noon. Oh my Lord. That's crazy. And you want to be done with your water 4 hours before bedtime. That way you're not up peeing all night. It's not hard. You think you've got 16 hours in a day. 16 hours in a day. And let's say you're having let's say you have 320 ounces of water. I'm making this up. 320 ounces of water to get in. And you drink one every hour for 8 hours, every other hour for 8 hours. Like, this is just baloney. The complaints I get about the water, it's baloney. It's baloney. The problem is you're not used to drinking your water and you forget it. You got to have your water bottle in your hand at all times. You got to have it with you at Costco. You got to have it with you at the office. You got to have it with you in the car. You take it with you everywhere you go. In church, everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. No exception. And you get that water down. Always front load your day with the water and then taper it as it gets later in the afternoon. It's not hard. Well, I'm peeing all the time. I would rather that than being fat. I would rather pee all the time on an airplane than ask for the seatbelt extender. Which kind of embarrassment do you want? The embarrassment of having to get up and go to the bathroom every half hour on a flight? That's why I sit on the aisle. I sit on the aisle on every single flight because I want to get up, and I get up every 30 minutes. I do. I get up every 30 minutes to go pee, and I sit near the bathroom. And I don't give a rat's fanny who thinks what. I can't believe the people that don't get up more often and go potty. This is why I don't get swollen during travel. I travel almost every week. I'm on a plane almost every week. And I do not swell. It's because I hyperhydrate before, during, and after my trips. Always hydrating. And my body knows how to flush those fluids. I don't accumulate fluids. I don't have edema. I don't eat foods that hang on. I don't cheat while I'm there. You treat your body with respect. It's going to treat you right. So what if you've got to pee? And besides, it's only a lot in the beginning, and then your kidneys concentrate and you'll be able to, it'll get used to the water, and they'll say, oh, so we're doing this, huh? Oh, all right. Okay, good. All right, cool. Well, let me adjust for the water. Your kidneys will adjust. How do you think people with one kidney can do it? Their body adjusts. The body's amazing. So you're going to get your customized water amount. Everybody is different. When you get your instructional email from me, it's going to be full. First of all, it's going to be in your spam folder because all my emails go to your spam folder, and it's going to be full of information. You need to read that email carefully. It's going to have your instructional manual and a link to the instructional video. You've got to watch the instructional video with the instructional manual so you know how to do the program. You can't do the program without knowing what to do. So don't skip that part, and don't do it while you're making your kids macaroni and cheese. Do it someplace where you can sit down quiet and you can actually pay attention and maybe even pause and take notes. That's going to explain page by page by page by page the entire program and all my expectations. Because you're going to say to me, Cristy, how many milligrams of magnesium you want me taking? I'm going to be like, that's in your instructional manual. I put it in there for you. Did you see that part? Maybe I skipped over it. Maybe I skipped over it. Not only did I tell you how many milligrams to take of mag, but I told you all the benefits of it. And I did the same thing with vitamin D. all the benefits and exactly how much to take. Pay attention to that instructional manual. It leaves no stone unturned. Then you're going to get tutorials. These tutorials are going to help you learn how to log your food. It's going to help you set up your Lose It app. It's going to help you navigate the Lose It app. It's going to help you find the foods that you need, things to look for, tips and tricks, and things that you don't want to the mistakes, things you don't want to miss, mistakes you don't want to make. These tutorials, I think there's like six or seven or eight of those tutorials, and they're screen shares. So you're watching my coaches make these using a screen share, and they're actually doing it right there in front of you. You're watching them do it. Then I'm going to have an onboarding video for you talking about the 4 biggest mistakes that everybody makes. And you're definitely going to want to watch that so that you can make sure that you don't make those mistakes. Now, people complain. I mean, people complain about all kinds of things, but people are going to complain about the Lose It app. I have looked at every single tracking app out there. I am very familiar with all of them. I've been doing this a very long time. And the Lose It app is the app that has the least amount of glitches. It does have a free version, but I just noticed this morning, because I log my food still, that they're offering less and less and less with the free version. I mean, it's typical. It's just like anything. But they do have sales 50% off all the time. And I think it's like $30 for an entire year to get the paid version. And the paid version unlocks so many things. So, if you get the paid version, it's very, very, very worth it. But you can do it with just the free version. The paid version lets you scan barcodes. It lets you log in days in advance and things like that. I like the Lose It app the best. I do not like MyFitnessPal. None of us are trained on MyFitnessPal, and I do not allow that in the Code Red program. So if you want to keep doing MyFitnessPal, you're on your own. Our coaches aren't trained in that, so they're not going to be able to help you. They are very, very well trained in the Lose It app. And that's where we log our food. Now, the key to this program is to make sure that all your food is pre-planned, pre-measured, and pre-logged the night before or early that morning, long before you think about eating or drinking anything. And I'll go over that in the instructional manual. And you're just going to sit down. It's going to take you a little while. It's going to take you a few days to get it. But then once you get it, you just rinse and repeat until all your weight is gone. It's not that hard. The home study program is absolutely amazing. And people get it and they always go, oh, I get it. And you're going to notice in the home study program that we eat 2 meals spaced at least 5 hours apart. 2 meals spaced at least 5 hours apart. In the 10-pound takedown, we do 2 or 3 meals. We don't say spaced 5 hours apart, and we say no eating after 6:30 p.m. Everybody has a customized eating time, the 2 eating times with their home study program. I don't care what they are, but we will help you figure out what they are according to what your shift is at work, according to what your lifestyle is, according to your driving schedule, your kid's schedule. We help you find out what your 2 eating times are, and that's it. And the first couple of days of doing this is always a little bit harder. You're a little bit hungry, which, by the way, hunger equals younger. You want to definitely be hungry. You don't want to be hangry to where you're like shaking and sweat is compiling above the lip and you're freaking out. We don't want that. But you want to be empty. I love that feeling of hunger. I love it. Like, yeah, I know I'm burning fat because all the insulin is out of my system and glucagon is working, and epinephrine and norepinephrine, all the fat burning hormones are working. I love that feeling. Burn some fat. Let's go. Burn, baby, burn, right? So we will help you come up with your 2 meal times when you get into the home study coaching group. You can always do the custom program with no help, no coaching, no VIP, no nothing. You can do it 100% on your own. I've never seen anybody be successful 100% on their own with no accountability. I've never seen it. Maybe you're the first. I don't know. I've never seen it. I mean, if you could do this by yourself, you would have already. I'm a kind of person that I don't need someone watching me all the time. When I say I'm going to do it, I'll do it. And I just do it on my own. I have my own intrinsic internal motivation. I have discipline. I do what I need to do because I know it's the right thing to do. I don't need anybody really watching me. I do have a bodybuilding coach that I check in with every Friday. And that's for other reasons. That's because I want to get back on stage. But staying on track, I don't really, but and maybe that's you. Maybe you can do the home study program 100% on your own, and you can just lock yourself in your house and never come back and never come out and never communicate with anybody, and you can lose all the weight you want. That would be the first. But we do offer home study coaching if you want it. Or if you want to skip to the front of the line, you want to get everything, get VIP, because VIP is the same price as a home study standalone program. And the VIP comes with a home study program. So it really is a no-brainer. The home study coaching program is absolutely amazing. It is the magic sauce. It is the secret. It is the one thing that people are missing. And a lot of people do the 10-pound takedown. We call them challenge hoppers. They do it over and over and over every other month. They're always on the 10-pound takedown and they don't lose any weight. They're not necessarily cheating. They're sticking to the food list. They're sticking to meat, vegetables, nuts, eggs, seeds, seafoods, and fat. They're drinking a gallon of water a day, which nobody needs less than a gallon of water a day. They're doing that. They're not eating after 6:30, but they're not losing weight anymore. Well, I would bet my next paycheck on the fact that they've got the wrong calorie amount and they don't know what they need to be eating. Because if you talk to Weight Watchers, it's a different amount. If you talk to Optavia, or if you do that stupid Ozempic, that's a joke. If you do Nutrisystem, I mean, if you look at the government guidelines, everybody has their on a different amount. And so what do? You go to the person with the proven track record of success. That's what you do. You choose somebody who has already mastered this, and that's me. If you want a customized program, you can go to coderedlifestyle.com/home study, all one word. And if you want to skip to the front of the line and get help from a coach and be in a small group coaching group and turn your weight into your coach and have more connection with your coach and hear from your coach every day, you get at least 2 messages a day from your coach, then you can go to VIP. And that's coderedlifestyle.com/VIP. That's the one I would check out if I were you. I don't really know why anybody would ever choose a standalone home study program when the VIP is the same price and comes with your customized program. I'm excited. I'm excited to see you in the home study coaching. I'm excited to do your numbers for you. I'm excited for what I know is going to bring weight loss success. And just so you know, the calorie amount that I have you on, it's only until you get to goal weight. And then when you get into maintenance, I'll totally show you how to maintain your weight, but increase your calories, because we don't want to stay down that low. We want to keep your weight down that low, but we want to eat more food. We want to start increasing. It's called reverse dieting. That's what we say in bodybuilding. And I'll teach you how to reverse back out of that. But you have to do it strategically, and you have to do it my way. I know a lot of people who have left Code Red, and a lot of people I see that they go to other programs and they lost a lot of weight on Code Red, and then they gained it back because they hated me, or they were mad at me, or they were mad at Code Red or whatever, gained all their weight back, and they complained about Code Red. They said, because she didn't teach me how to stay there. Yeah, I do. I have a very, very advanced maintenance program, and we love maintenance. We want everybody to get to maintenance and learn how to do maintenance. Stay at your goal weight for the rest of your life. That's our goal. And I don't know why these people always want to complain about something. They want to blame me. It's not me. But yes, I do have a very advanced maintenance program that we're excited to have you in. And then what we do is we reverse you back out of weight loss. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, explaining the custom program. Get yourself a custom program. Take the guesswork out. Let me give you all your customized numbers for you, and you will get to goal weight so much faster, 10% of your body weight off every month with a custom program. So pick one up today, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. If you are looking for some hardcore accountability to get and keep this weight off, look no further, because I've got VIP Connection. This is the ultimate connection to me, just short of me sleeping on your couch. You're going to get 3 daily messages from me in real time directly to you. You're going to submit your weight every Friday. We're going to go over it in a weekly meeting on Sunday nights, and I'm going to give you feedback. You'll have access to a monthly VIP breakfast with me in Boise, a monthly VIP supplement box, access to any workshop, any PDF promo that I hold for that month. You'll have access to the Ringside membership, And best of all, you'll have a fully customized nutrition program written just for you. We're talking about over $3,000 total value for $397 a month, and you can cancel anytime. Go to coderedlifestyle.com/VIP to check that out.